There's quite a few of us on now. So welcome tonight, guys. Candy, I don't know if you want to. Oh, you're already recording. Woohoo! So yeah, quite often in this business, and trust me, I've been in the business for 4 years. So those of you that don't know me, I'm Suzie Mccarthy, and yeah, I'm an SSC position, and I've been in the company for 4 years now. You can spend a lot of time in this business playing around, thinking that you are working. Hey, Sheila, welcome. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time in this business actually thinking you're working and spending a lot of time doing stuff, but they're not very high paying activities, and you can waste a lot of time. So it's really important to nut out what the paying activities are, what's going to get your money coming in, especially if you're short on time and you don't have time for it. And so some of the things too that do take up our time that aren't high paying activities, you can look at actually delegating them out or getting someone else to do them. So if you think of activities that might not be very high paying, it's things like making up really pretty flyers or that sort of thing. Even I don't know if a lot of you guys too, in the beginning with Messenger and talking to people, and I'd have trouble getting them on the phone, and I'd spend a lot of time actually typing, replying to them, when we've got so many great tools. Or you can just get them on the phone, or even nowadays just leave them an actual voice message through Messenger as well, so they can hear the passion in your voice, things like that. So we'll get started. What we covered on the weekend too is the 3 elements to success. So if you guys want your upline to take you seriously and help you out, what they'll be looking for is number 1, desire. So I don't know if you guys want to write these down tonight, but if you're showing desire in your business and your why is strong, and you're passionate about this business and showing up, that's what your upline want to see, to make their time with you, if you're doing one-on-ones, worthwhile. And number 2 is to really be teachable. So there's quite often people come into the business and they've been in a high sales job or marketing job or things like that, and or they've been a successful business person, and they don't realize how different this business can actually be. So being teachable is one of the things that uplines look at for people to work with. Yeah. Number 3 is willingness to do the action. So if they see you doing the actions and doing, the reason I'm going over these too is because the willingness to do the actions is these high paying activities that I'm about to cover. So you want to lock these 5 high paying activities into your DMO and make them non-negotiables. Okay, because this is how your business is going to grow, not doing flyers. Okay, so number 1 is just to get out and connect with people. So how can we do that? You know, there's so many people when they're scared of coming into the business. One of their number 1 reasons is because I don't know that many people. But if you can get out there and connect with people, you know, everyone you come into contact with during the day, you can make a connection with. So, and get curious about people. You're not going to go out there and tell them what you do. You're going to go out there and start to build relationships. You're going to start asking them questions. Why are they doing what they're doing? How long have they been doing it? Is that what they plan on doing for the rest of their life? What gets them excited? Do they have any hobbies or passions? Are they working too much and they'd rather more time freedom? So start asking questions, get curious about people. That's a really high paying activity. You're starting to build relationships and make more connections. And so as you're building those relationships and making those connections, really make sure, guys, that you're utilizing your grid and writing people down. Because I know from experience, I've got 3 young kids and I've made some great connections and I haven't written them down on my grid. And then a couple of months after I should have followed them up, they've popped into my head and I've gone, oh, shit. it's a little bit too late now. How am I going to reconnect and start building the relationship again? Do you know what I mean? Like, so really utilize your grid in when you're making these connections so that you know where you're at with someone. And if it is someone that you don't know that well and you're asking these questions, when you get back to the car or you get home or you've got your notebook there, write down what their answers were. So next time that you know you're going to run into them around the place somewhere, you can actually refresh yourself and ask them, you know, how's Johnny doing? You said he was really sick last week. Or your dog's been at the vet. Is he okay now? You know, that really makes people feel special. So when you're out there making those connections, really, really work on knowing who that person is and remembering. So, and then when you get to that point where you feel that this could actually be something for them, that you hear that they need something that we have to offer, ask them another 5 questions. Don't just plus straight on them. And, you know, you can say if they've been struggling working heaps, you could just ask the question, so have you ever thought about working from home so you can be there for your kids rather than have them in daycare? And that's going to pique their interest. That's going to get them curious. Why are you asking me this? So, and the more you ask the questions too, what are they going to eventually do? I know what you just said, Sheila, even though you're on mute. I can read lips now. Thank you. Yes, they're going to ask you what you do. So yeah, that's number one high paying activity. Write this down, put it on your board. This is part of your DMO every day, just connecting with people. Use your grid with that. Number 2, social media. Social media is such a powerful tool, guys. If you're not using it, start to use it. I know we had a conversation about it in the car, Donna, how you've never been a Facebook person. So how do you ease into that and start to build? And one of the things we discussed with Donna was maybe doing a live video, just saying, you know, I've just realized how beautiful Facebook is for connecting and staying connected with my friends. And so I'm going to make the effort to use it more so I can stay connected with all of my beautiful people out there, and then start building from there. So if you're not using social media much, make sure you build. Don't just go out and start doing like 9 posts a day, because people are going to go, what's she up to? What's she doing? So social media, again, don't go spamming, juice plussing all over the place. Use it as an excuse to start conversations. Use it as an excuse to build relationships. And again, it's the same as when you're out connecting with people. If you haven't connected with someone for a while and you know they keep popping in your head, they're on your list that you want to connect with them, send them a message. Hey, how you going? If you've had a look at their page beforehand, you can see something that maybe's been going on for them and go, hey, I noticed that you're doing this. How awesome is that? Tell me about it. And just start having those conversations again. As I said, if they haven't spoken to you for a while, eventually they're going to say, oh, I've noticed what you're doing on your page. What's that about? Tell me about it. So that's number 2, social media. Number 3, I don't know if you guys have heard the saying, but you'll continue to hear it a lot. The fortune is in the follow-up. As I was saying, when I haven't used my grid at times and I've forgotten to follow up with people, I've missed some really good connections, and sometimes I've been lucky and it's come back in later on. But so using your grid, you've got somewhere to work to for your follow-up. And, you know, you can pencil it in your diary and make sure you follow up. And I know sometimes it can be a bit scary doing the follow-up. So find ways to connect where to me it's if you're in the headspace and the intention of truly wanting to help this person, that's going to come across. If you're coming out straight with the intention of, I want to sign you up as my customer, that's going to come across too, and the person's going to feel sold too. If you need some help on this, make sure, hands up everyone who's read or listened to all of Eric Warre's GoPro. Hands. Double hands, Bronnie. I love it. So yeah, if you haven't, pull it out, or there's free audios on Google Drives and things like that. The Team Spirit website and the Google Drive has it. I know because I put it there. So yeah, use it and listen to it. Disc 2 is what you want to listen to about inviting and sharing, rather than telling people that they should be at an event because they need Juice Plus. Don't shoot on people. So one of the ways was, we spoke about too, I had a conversation on the weekend too, if in that section, Eric Warre does the, if I give you this tool, will you watch it? Yeah, that's cool. But there's the next part of it too is, okay, so if you've watched it by, will you have watched it by Wednesday? If I call Thursday, will you have watched it? Now, I know for me that doesn't sit well to use that approach. So the way I do it is just adding a little bit extra into that sentence, and is, hey, I really don't want to hassle you trying to follow up when you've seen this. So when do you think you would have watched it for? So you're sort of pulling it out of them when they're going to watch it. You're getting them to tell you when they're going to watch it, but you're saying it in a concern of like, I don't want to be messaging you all the time, so just let me know, and then I'll follow up with you. And so you're getting it from them when they're going to have watched it by, and you're getting permission to follow up from that. So that's number 3, the follow-up. Number 4 is our events. The people making money in this business, write this one down. The people making money in this business are the ones that are showing up to events and running events. Okay, guys, it's so important. And consistency in events as well. So quite often, I always remember Celine in the early days, and she was saying way back when she was doing her Tupperware events, when she was working for Tupperware, she said quite often it was me, myself and I at the event. She said, but I kept doing them, and then there'd be 2 people, and then there'd be 3 people, and then there'd be 10 people, and then there'd be 20. So you get what I'm saying? Quite often in the beginning, you can feel like, you know, a bit sorry for yourself, or like you're a bit of a failure if you have some events where no one shows up or just one person shows up. But that doesn't matter, because the right person is going to show up. Okay? And it's really important, even in the beginning when I didn't have people going to events, I still took myself along to them. I still showed up, because you know what? Every time I went to that event, I was seeing leaders up the front of the room, and I was learning from them. And so my verbiage and the way I spoke became easier, because it's all about repetition and having it in your head and getting comfortable where you're at. So events, guys, really make sure you utilize them. And we're so blessed nowadays to have this beautiful platform that we can be sitting here. I won't show you my jammy pants, but yes, I am in them right now. So yeah, we're lucky we can do events in our jammy pants at home with a cup of tea and the kids in bed. So there's no excuses for not being on events or at events. And number 5, which those of you guys that were there at the 90-day game plan on Saturday would have heard the beautiful souls up on stage talking about customer care. Our customers are our lifeblood, and a raving fan customer will turn into one of your best distributors. So just because they don't get the business in the beginning, or they're scared of the business, or whatever the reason may be, when they're getting really good results and people are asking them, why is your skin looking so good? Why is your hair shining like that? And wow, you never had nails before. That's how we turn our customers into distributors as well. But our customer care, there's just so much depth to that. I want to get some of the PDFs from the weekend and share with you guys in the group. But it's a whole nother training call. But definitely your customer care, please put it on your list of your DMO, and make sure one of the best things I did for my customer care, because once my 3rd baby came along and started destroying my house, as those of you that know the pictures on Facebook have seen, my customer care went out the window a bit. So what I've implemented too is we get sent, so there's no excuse, we get sent our customer genealogy in our emails every week now. But at the start of the month, don't just do that customer genealogy report. Go into your VO and pull up your customer genealogy report if your team's not that big, for your whole team. And go through and have a look, because you might have a few distributors that just have it as a family plan or have dropped right off and they're not looking after their customers. That's where you guys have got to reach down and connect with those customers as well. But you can take that genealogy report. Number one, make sure there's no declines on there. If there's declines on there, follow up with your customers. Usually it's just maybe that they've had a card changeover. But you've got 2 months worth there. You can go and put in your diary when they're going to ship. So when you've got that in your diary, then go and backdate it a couple of times, like whether you want to do it a couple of weeks before or whatever your plan is. But make sure you're connecting with them way before their shipment is due. So you're not ringing up that week before going, your box is coming out in a couple of days. Do you want it? But yeah, definitely a high paying activity. Look after your customers. It's so much easier to keep a good customer than to go out and find new customers. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have any questions on any of that?
I don't have any questions, but because I could talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, can I add something into that?
I'd love for you to, Ronnie.
Everybody knows I can talk heaps. I've always heard, and this is a shift that happened for me on the weekend, when you were saying before that, go out and care for people rather than go out thinking about the gain that you can get from them, or I can make you a teamie or something like that. That's always been said to me, but I always found, and it almost feels embarrassing to say it because you feel like I don't actually mean to stalk people, but that's exactly what it feels like when you're talking to them. You're thinking in the back of your head, my God, you'd be awesome at this. This is awesome, and because you say that, you actually stumble over your words and you completely stuff up your whole presentation, like your whole thing. So today, I was out for 1 hour today, and I have 12 new Facebook friends in 1 hour, because literally I was just like, hey, honey, how you going? How was your day? How was your weekend? Tell me more about that. Why do you ask? And now when you actually talk to someone, and I just didn't even think for a second, you're going to be team, you're going to be customer, you're going to be there. I wasn't interested in that. I was just interested in them. They just poured out. And they're like, I want more of you because you cared about me. Yeah. You know what? One of them's already asked me what I do, because obviously she stalked my Facebook page. And I said to her, why do you ask? She said, because the positivity on your page is crazy and I need more of that in my life. And I'm like, what did I say to her? I'd have to check my phone. Hang on a sec. I said, that's what I said. So why does that actually interest you? It can't just be that it's more, you need more of that in your life, because I'm friends with you now. There is more of that in your life. What, what is it for you? And she's like, and then she just poured out like 10 years of destructive life. And I basically said to her, well, if I had something for you, would you take a closer look? Like, if I had an answer to that, would you take a closer look? And she said, hell yes, throw it at me.
That's awesome.
So I directed her to my business page, and then I shared a link with her, and she's coming to our event on Sunday, our live event. This is a lady I met this morning. Holy shitballs, and I literally spoke to her. And I know it's almost like I'm trying to jump through the computer right now, but I've heard this so many times from so many leaders, and still I would have that conversation with, oh, you're going to be in my team. Yeah. And it just felt so, I don't know, it just felt so awesome to be like, oh my God, I actually genuinely cared in what she had to say to me. I almost disconnected from the business. Like, I don't do Juice Plus. I'm not network marketer. I just didn't even think of that in my mind. So that is so important. And the best question I got from the weekend, why did you ask? Why did you ask? Why do you ask? What do you do? Why do you ask? Follow it with a question. Don't tell them, oh, I do this. No, why do you ask? Why do you want to know? What is it to you? Yeah. So, that was just something that because I've had that big shift, I'm like, as you can tell, my energy's like, 90-day game plan. We've done one training session tonight. Everyone's like, whoa, no. But that is such a strong message. If you can actually just think, I don't do this, this is not what I do, while you're talking to people, you genuinely come from the heart, and the true person that you genuinely were before you started this mission comes out naturally. Because we all have that, because we've all said yes to this, because we care for people, not because we wanted to make millions, but because we care for people. Yes, like more life choices is better, but we genuinely care for people, and we saw that. So if you disconnect from that and come from that, then it's going to be so much easier to connect with people and care. Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, it's so true, Bronwyn. Like, and you saying that too, it really took me back then to remember Dee had the 20 seconds of courage to call me and put me on a 3-way with Linda. I was like, if I know now, I knew. Yeah, it's like, oh no, I'm done. But because I'd had a bad experience with network marketing in the mid-90s, part of me was just like, all right, lady, bring it on. Give me your best shot. By the end of the call, I was like, yeah, I'll come meet you for coffee. When do you want to meet? Cool, we can meet tomorrow. That's awesome. But it was because she was interested in me and who I was. And asked all, and she was the master asker. She just asked all these questions about me, and I got off the phone, being that sort of stay-at-home mama that felt that I'd lost so much community and connection. And I was just like, wow, someone's actually interested in me and how I feel right now. So that's totally.
That's exactly right.
Suze, can I give you some feedback on the Facebook stuff?
Yeah.
So I had been home I think 2 hours today, and I had a little catch up with my kids and my cousin, and I haven't seen her for ages. And the first thing she said to me was, "What have you been doing all weekend?" and I couldn't get it out of my mouth, although it was in my head, and I was grinning. Why do you ask? But anyway, she just goes, I think I need this for my daughter, because and her daughter was bitten by a snake, eastern brown, earlier in the year, and she's just. And I thought, I bet you no one has got any stories of this one, but she's just. It takes apparently 5 years or so for all the venom and the energy that she's that to get out of your body. So she's actually looking at from a snake bite perspective. So if anyone's had any snake bite perspectives, let me know. But maybe I'll have one for you soon, because I think she's going to hop on the product already. I've been home 2 hours, so that was pretty cool. Yeah,
it's awesome, Donna. Yay!
So Facebook is working.
While you're talking, Dons, do you want to share too, like, what was your biggest takeaway from the weekend? It was just so brilliant to see your face light up. I love it when you see first-time people at like the bigger events, and you just see the light bulb go on of like, oh my God.
I think it was
crazy people
for me to see real people and see that it works. Like, it sounds, sitting here at home away from all the events, it's like, sounds great, I love it, does it work? Because I also had a bit of an experience with network marketing in the 90s, and I loved the atmosphere, but I didn't necessarily make any money at that point. That was a whole different thing. But my biggest thing, probably hands down, was just that I had so much fun, and I want a bit more of that. We just had the best time, and I originally got in just to get a bit more energy, but I just want to go back to the next event, just because it's a lifestyle that was awesome. I felt like a teenager again. So, we were a bit like a teenager there, weren't we, Cams? But so the biggest takeaway, though, I guess, removing your excuses and meeting everyone in that room was just so beautiful. Anywhere you go, you got a handful of dickheads wherever you go, but, usually quite a big handful. But on the weekend, there was no one. I didn't meet anyone that I didn't love, and that was just felt really genuine, and they're the sort of people that I'd like to have in my life. So I don't see any drawbacks to this thing. There's just no negatives, really. It was heaps of fun. So when's the next one?
Yeah.
It was nice to see my kids again, though. That was good.
Yeah. And they would have seen a bit of a shift in you coming back.
Yeah, I'm dog tired, but they spoke to Kendi on the phone, and she said, "Is Mum really excited?" I go, "Yeah, she really is." Oh, but she is. So yeah, it's good.
That's all.